The next UFC pay-per-view is going to be taking place on January 23rd, and it's obviously the big fight, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, the big rematch at 155. And we talked about this before the holidays about whether this fight was going to be for a title. And I don't know who's in charge of the UFC social media, but someone might have gotten in some trouble because the UFC does this thing, for those who don't know, every time a pay-per-view happens, they DM people that they follow and they say, hey, you got to order the pay-per-view. But in the wording, Kev, they said, are you excited for the lightweight title fight? Now, of course, Khabib Nurmagomedov says he was retired. Dana White's saying he's not retired. I mean, we don't know what's going on with the actual title, but I think anyone with a brain knows the UFC wants to have a title fight for UFC 257, and they want it to be on Conor McGregor's waist because it's good for business, right? I mean, this is something we talked about last time, but I mean, was this a slip up from the UFC social media team, or do you think the UFC has had this all along and they're just waiting to see what happens with Khabib? Like, I don't know what to make of this, but I tend to think we will see gold handed out on January 23rd.
James, before we went on the holidays.
Yes, I know. We called it.
Sat right on here. And somebody needs to start paying us for calling these things. Matter of fact, we need to start putting in bets or something.
Exactly, yeah. There's a prop bet on title.
Yeah, because the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall, man. The leprechaun is the guy they want. You know, he is the guy they need that belt around his waist so desperately. Desperately they need it. But also they know that it's a yin and a yang when it comes to that, because the bigger, the more power Conor has, the more he tries to control the situation. But they need it because it makes more sense for the business, for the company, for him to have that belt around his waist. So I mean, it's inevitable that they were going to put that belt around. They were going to put that belt on the line for this fight, and it's really up to Dustin. If Dustin wants to, because Dustin always looked at himself like he belonged in these conversations with these other stars. And he's always pushed himself into these conversations without anybody ever calling him out. He would just put himself in it through Twitter or through Instagram or through whatever. And he tried and tried and tried. And he almost got Nate. He got who did he get? So he got Justin Gaethje. Was it Justin Gaethje?
Yeah, you got Gaethje. Yeah,
he got Gaethje. So now he's got Conor. So now you got a huge name, a star that you can possibly, and you fought him already before, and he knocked you out. Now you get your redemption, you get a title shot, and you get to be a star. You get all three now, buddy. So it's really up to you to prove to us, the world, that you belong and that this is somewhere where you belong. Because you've been trying to push yourself into these big conversations though for the last 3 years. And it's like, bro, like Dustin, like he's like, bro, just like go over there, bro. But now you got your chance. So you're gonna get all three that you want. You're gonna get, your name's gonna be very big if you beat this guy. You're gonna be the world champion if you beat this guy, and then you're gonna make a lot of money if you beat this guy. So it's up to you to do this. And now Conor, to me, looks like he's fully confident and he knows he's gonna spark this guy out. He looks to me like he does not have a worry in the world about Dustin Poirier, because the mental edge of knowing that you knocked the man out, that fact that you know that already, and you know how you did it, and then you've been watching him for the last year, whatever, 7 months, and you're like, I'll knock him out again. Like, you just think that in your head. So it's up to Dustin. It's really up to Dustin to crash the party. If Dustin crashes his party, then he could get as many rewards as he would like,
A lot of things, a lot of things are going to be kicking off here pretty soon. Like I said, next Saturday, it's the Holloway and Cater card. Then we got McGregor. Then we've got, just a lot of fights coming up. So it's kind of, and look at what we just talked about today. And that's just, just shows you how busy the combat sports world is. So we're strapping
Are we keeping our predictions for fight week? You want to keep our predictions for fight week?
Sure. Yeah. We'll keep it for then. Yeah. Cause we'll do it every week sort of leading up. I think that makes sense. Keeps it fresh. Maybe there's some stuff happens. Maybe a guy has a bad weight cut or something. I don't know. We can factor all that stuff in.
Or somebody gets COVID and doesn't make it to the fight.
Exactly. We could be talking predictions and then something happens. In this day and age, you never know. So anyways, episode 4 is in the books. I want to thank Kev. I want to thank Taylor for doing this behind the scenes. He's always doing a bang up job here. If you guys could hit the like button on this video, if you could hit that subscribe button, check out all the work Kev did on on the Ryan Garcia fight. Lots of good stuff there. Like you said, you guys can watch the full interviews there. Really good stuff that you're not going to get anywhere else. Like I said, you're not going to get the buttoned up typical interviews when you see our stuff. You're going to see stuff that's a little bit more relaxed, and you're going to see more personality out of the fighters. So definitely go check that out. By the way, guys, I just today interviewed Dan Hooker. Check that interview out. Dan's not doing a ton of media ahead of this fight. His big fight against Michael Chandler. That's the co-main event of UFC 257. You're going to see it here on Fanatics View. Talk to Dan all about the shenanigans that happened leading up to the fight itself, and why he didn't actually want to fight earlier, and how it was sort of a loyalty thing as to why he opted to wait to fight this year as opposed to fighting late last year, because of course his last fight was in June. So good stuff there as well.
Can I ask you a question?
Let's hear it, of course.
If Dan Hooker beats Chandler,
yeah,
is Dan Hooker the number one contender for the belt?
No, because he lost to Poirier. He'll need a fight or two, I think, after this.
If Michael Chandler beats Daniel Hooker, is Michael Chandler the number one contender for the belt?
He might be, only because I really believe the UFC is going to try and keep Charles Oliveira away from McGregor. And I think Chandler's a more winnable fight. I'm throwing, we talked about our predictions. That might be one right there. If Chandler pulls off this fight, because I don't think Chandler's going to win. Spoiler alert.
That's a hot take, guys. That's a hot take.
If Chandler wins, I would not be surprised to see him because look how highly the UFC thought they were going to give him a title fight. He was the backup for Khabib and Gaethje without having a single UFC fight. That just shows you how highly the UFC thinks. So
I mean, Chandler has done a great job in his career so far.
He has, but 3 fights ago he got knocked out. 3 fights ago he got knocked out. Remember that?
Out 3 fights. It was a Pitbull knocked him out. Who was that?
Pitbull knocked him out, a featherweight.
Yeah.
There you go. Not discrediting Michael Chandler, great fighter. I'm just saying, if you look at the odds right now, Dan Hooker, a slight favorite with good reason, bigger guy. I mean, we'll break this down, come fight week. But there's a lot of interesting pieces that can move. And then we've got Khabib in this whole thing. If Khabib comes back, that's really going to blow things out of the water. So we'll see what happens.
Did Dan tell you he wants a title shot after if he wins? Did he tell you that?
Dan? No, I think Dan knows because he lost his last fight. He needs 2 more, I think, to get in there. But it's interesting. This is the co-main event. If something happens, knock on wood, let's hope it doesn't. One of those guys can step in, right? So we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
Kev, what do you got coming up? Let the audience know what you got going on.
Well, let me tell you guys that my young fighter, Tristan Calcaruth, won his fight. First round knockout, 7-0, 5 knockouts. A cruiserweight. I'm just really, really, really excited about this young fighter, man. And we did quick work on that Ryan Garcia card, on the DAZN card. You guys should go check it out if you're able to see the fight. Tristan Calcaruth, that's his name, out of Dallas, Texas, 6'4", 200-pound cruiserweight. So 19 years old, signed him to Golden Boy at 17. I mean, he is the real deal. And for him to be able to come in there and just pull off that win that quick, that well, with all the adversity that faced that week, and those weeks coming into the fight, it was just exceptional, man. So I'm really, really excited about this young guy's career. We're gonna try to get him in there in the next 2 months or so. So hopefully we could get him going there. But other than that, I'm city to city, camp to camp, fight to fight, man. So I'm just excited, man. Gabe Rosado, who got robbed with the Daniel Jacob fight. Really got to talk to him. He has a lot of special things that he's going to be doing here coming soon. So, yeah, man, hopefully we'll be able to share a lot of this news. And, can't wait to talk to you guys again.